What's going on, people? Welcome to 1G7 Works, and today we're having a look at this. It's the new 2021 BMW M4. It is a controversial one. That big front grille is something that's kind of dividing a lot of people. Overall, I think the shape and the back end, the lights, the rear lights, and the front lights and all that kind of stuff, it actually looks pretty nice. I think there's a little bit of, you can still see the traditional BMW kind of M style and heritage there, but that big, huge bucktooth grille is really throwing off a lot of people. Overall, I think it looks pretty nice, especially in this white with the carbon roof and those awesome looking wheels. I think it looks amazing. Basically, as far as stats, it's got, according to Content Manager, 455 brake horsepower, 589 newton meters of torque, and it weighs 1,527 kilos. So again, all the kind of conversions will be on the screen. I think I forgot in the last video, on the Tesla video, so apologies about that, but they should be on the screen there as I mentioned them. So yeah, basically, if you don't know what we do here, there's going to be a little beauty montage. Then there's going to be the VR check. Basically, as ever, it's a VR mod review specifically, so it's about how it looks in VR. Are the materials good? Is there good shadows and shading in the interior? Textures and all kind of stuff, like having a look around, just kind of seeing how immersive it feels. Yeah, basically that, and then an audio check. So we're going to check the audio, see if the sound is good, if it's a custom sound mod, if it's done well, or if it's just copied from another Assetto Corsa car. Either way, don't really mind. I'm not too fussed as long as it sounds good. That's good enough. We are then going to take it out for a lap of the Nordschliefe. Not going for a time. I'm not the best driver in the world. It's just a first look, first test, kind of blind going into it, seeing how it drives. And I'm just very interested and excited to see how it goes. So that's about it. Meet you on track. So first look, we are in the car, straight into the wheel, and it looks good. Not amazing, but good. I've seen better as far as, again, I've had my standards really raised as far as like shadows and ambient occlusion and stuff like that in certain cars. So while like the details are all there, the buttons are all nicely done, you can see the red on the steering wheel buttons and everything, shifters. It has the camera, which is really cool. It's a feature that you're seeing a lot kind of more recently as part of what you call it, like custom shaders patch. I think it's a part of that, having the actual like track map with the racing line and stuff like that, like in the sat nav. I think that's a really cool feature. Like that will live update as we're driving, as I'll show off. Again, looks good. Like, again, looks really good as far as all the details and all that kind of stuff. It just looks a little, I don't know, it's just missing shadows or something like that. Like there's no shadows in the corner over there where there should be, like the sun like coming in and that kind of thing. So, again, not perfect, I have seen better, but absolutely respectable. Okay, so next up we have the sound check. So we're going to have a listen. Let's check it out. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Again, I don't know if it's using an actual like originally created sound mod or just copied over from another BMW. I just don't know the subtle differences in engine notes and that kind of stuff, unless it's like something really obvious to be able to tell the difference. And I didn't notice in Content Manager if it was using the copied one. So regardless, it sounds, yeah, it sounds pretty good, pretty meaty. Not sure what engine is in this car. I presume a V8, but I'm not 100% certain. But let's take a look and a listen to the outside. I do personally think it's a gorgeous looking car. Yeah, you've got that thing there, which is not ideal, but I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I wouldn't be as much of a hater as some other people. But listen to the sound from the outside. Oh, that's mean. I like that. Very raspy. Very interesting, very raspy sounding, as I said. So, with that all said, without further ado, he says, after spending like 3 or 4 minutes not going onto the trap, let's get onto the track. That was something that I found funny about videos when people do like a 1 or 2 minute long intro, and then they're like, let's get right into the video. It's like, so let's see, some nice exhaust pop backfire that I can hear popping off back there. Bring it around and we take off. That's interesting. It has a live like G meter as well in the cockpit, in the dashboard there. A really weird, interesting thing in the sound going under the tunnel there. It's like they attempted to make it sound like it was reverbing, but oof. Brakes are interesting. We don't seem to be slowing down very quickly. Very bumpy as well. As ever, using the stock tune. Steps out just a little bit. Weird. What was that? Oh, the iPad probably fell. I was like, what was that? Yeah, so far not terrible. I am being little bit gingered just to start off as usual. Brakes constantly kind of, because I don't have ABS on, the brakes are constantly just locking a little bit. But I'm sure as they warm up throughout the lap, that will that won't be such a problem. But we'll see. Feels good though. You can feel the weight of it. Obviously, the M4 is supposed to be in like slightly bigger than the M3 sort of thing, like the M3's bigger brother, and you can definitely feel that in the weight of the car. But oh, do we save it? No, I'm so sad about that. I really thought I'd be able to step out there. The way that it's been handling so far, I was like, if the back end does step out a little bit, it should be something that I can catch relatively without trouble. But no, as we've learned there, that is not the case. A little air, not too much, just a dab of the brakes to bring us around. Probably didn't even actually need the brakes, probably just letting off there would have been enough. Yeah, I was surprised by that spin there. Hopefully it's the one and only one for this lap. The last couple of laps that I've done have been kind of disastrous. Like, the Tesla lap was just awful, to the point where I was actually genuinely annoyed by the end, and I think you could probably tell it. Oh, turn. Brakes, they don't. Takes a fair amount of pressure for them to come on. Unlike the, I think was it the Tesla? Or maybe the GR Yaris, where I was like, the brakes are binary, they're either on or off. These are just like, you push and push and push and nothing happens for a while. And then all of a sudden they kick in and you have some brakes, but... Oof. Not to brake just yet. Yeah, steering's fairly heavy. Again, probably, I'm imagining simulating the weight of such a big heavy car, kind of. But probably could have even dropped down to second gear there. But yeah, I forgot to point this out actually. Yeah, as I said, the map in real time there is updating. It seems to be fairly choppy. It's not exactly a 60 FPS display, shall we say, but it's still pretty cool to see the actual racing line as we go around it. Like, oh, try to bring it down. Maybe drop down in second. No, that was too low. Didn't need to be in second there. That's poor shift choice. Maybe here though, fairly tight. No, honestly, third actually probably wouldn't have even done that fine as well. Interesting. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful. Want to hit miss. What is it? Miss hit miss. I always messed that one up. So now we want to be braking for the hard left, and I'm certain that this will be a second gear corner. Gotta keep it away from that curb on the inside. Accelerate coming out. Little bit of oversteer, but fairly solid, fairly planted. I'm really liking this car, I have to say. I'd say after another lap or so, when you can get some decent heat into the brakes, there's a weird thing with that sound. When we're in places where like it should be just echoing, it's almost like it's feeding through the outside sound in. I think that's what's actually happening there, yeah. When you go into like a tunnel or into like one of them enclosed parts of the track where it has like the fence on either side, it tries to change the sound to make it sound like it's yeah, like it's echoing, like a wooden tunnel, but it doesn't actually make it echo. It just switches it to the outside view sound. You can hear that kind of raspiness, which is interesting. But the car is handling the circuit pretty well, I have to say. I'm pleasantly surprised here. Like, it's an M car, it's a BMW M car, it's an M4 obviously, so you shouldn't probably shouldn't be too surprised that it's a good car. But yeah, really enjoying the time in it so far. Other than that slide spin. There we go. Okay, unfortunately we couldn't limit it to just the one. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Just kind of got away from me. That felt like it should have been a straight, like a flat out kind of slight bend or whatever, but no, apparently not. It's always the way, just as you're complimented it as well. I'm like, yeah, I'm having a great time, it's very nice and fun to drive, and then boom, hit by a bus. But yeah, we take this section here. Pretty good, nice and flat out, foot to the floor rather. Change the gear there sometime, Brian. Oh, we are going a bit wide. Now we're wanting the brake. Last right turn, try to bring it to the apex, and it's doing well. Like, again, it has grip. I'm genuinely surprised that I've spun twice now. The car seems like it should be able to handle anything that you control with it. I feel very confident in this thing. Absolutely no issues with the carousel. Very surprised by them two spins, honestly. But obviously we know the real test is coming up with the YouTube section, so... Damn it, this is a flat out. I always forget. Like, oof. this is flat out, that was flat out, and this is the one where you have to ease off a bit. But yeah, so far just been a blast. Feeling confident. Confidence is growing. Like, again, you've got these little slides and step out moments, but you can catch them for the most part. Again, that second spin there, I just do not know what happened. I don't like, I didn't anticipate a spin there coming at all. But yeah, here's the real test. Do we get our patented YouTube corner mess up, or can we make it through fairly clean? Keep it to the inside, drifting a little bit understeer, drifting a little bit wide. Bring it in now. Out onto the rumble, so we got through the first part. On the brakes. Yeah, nothing to complain about at all there. I did kind of like consider stepping the back end out for a bit of a show, but I kind of thought better against it. Because we were doing well, we were keeping it through like fairly nicely, so don't want to be messing with it at all. Oh, the bumps not letting us brake there, just the sheer bumpiness of the track. The brakes actually just like the wheels and tires weren't actually making enough contact with the ground for the brakes actually to be able to apply. That was weird. Oof, it could be the same here. It's very stiff. I do notice that. Like, it is pretty stiff. Like, you can feel all the bumps and all that kind of stuff. You can feel everything through your hands, but like, it is very kind of stiff and planted, as I was saying before. So this corner is deceivingly tight. It is basically like, it's like a 3, maybe, like, yeah, I'd say it's probably a 3 in rallying terms, if you know what that means. I'd give it like a 3 as far as sharpness, but it just doesn't look like it on the approach. It looks like a fairly smooth corner. It's not until you're like halfway through where you're like, oh, this just keeps bending away. Like, it doesn't straighten out at any point. As we come around the last corner, and I have to say, it's been an enjoyable drive. I've absolutely had fun with this car. What was it, 3 spins in total, 3 mess ups? Was it 2 or 3? 2. 2 and like a slidey moment, if I remember correctly, but I'm not sure. Either way, yeah, probably one of the better laps I've gotten in a video in a while. The car just, yeah, pretty nice, feels really good, very solid, very stiff in the hands. But again, it is kind of it's a big boy. Like, I know that it's kind of might sound hypocritical, because that's what I said about the Yaris. I said that it felt very stiff in the hands, but that just didn't seem right, or didn't seem to fit, as we get some weird lag coming back into the pits here. The Yaris felt stiff, but because I think it was just not implemented correctly, like the physics weren't implemented correctly. Like, a small little hatchback Yaris shouldn't have felt that stiff. This you can kind of make sense of it. Yeah, it's a big coupe, like 2-door BMW M4. Like, it is probably going to feel a bit stiffer and harder in the hands than a little Yaris should. But yeah, that's about it. But yeah, basically, as ever, that's that. It was an absolute joy to drive. A couple of mistakes, but that's going to be the case when you're as alright at driving as I am, kind of thing. But yeah, definitely I'd recommend it. I probably got VR face going on at the moment, and also freshly shaved, not looking my best. Yeah, definitely would recommend it. If you want to download it, the link will be in the description as always, and yeah, just try it out, give it a blast, let me know what you think if you try it yourself. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please do leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.